学习者，在讲演会担任过许多不同的领导角色，包括75区域总监，当年获选为世界排名第8位的特选卓越总监。那么 Elisa 也曾经获得区域评论和即席比赛冠军。他在2013-14年担任地区顾问，2016年当选国际理事，2021年获选总统表彰奖，2024-25年度他再度成为国际董事，2度成为国际董事。
So she's here with us today to share her insights in a talk that promises to link, inspire, and lead us forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmaster International Director Elisa Tay.
现在以热烈的掌声欢迎 Elisa Tay 国际理事。
Good morning.
Good morning.
As I was telling Tarian last night, we are recycled. But maybe we can come up with a better word, upcycled. You know, 10 years ago in Washington, D.C., when I was campaigning for the position of international director, an international director then approached me and asked, "What have you contributed to Toastmasters International?" And I was stumped for a few seconds. And I said, 27 years of continuous membership payments to Toastmasters International. My dear friends, good morning. It is such a joy to be part of an organization that values words, that gives power to words, and that nurtures our voices. And I would like to invite you on this journey to reflect on how we can use this friendship that we have established through the years through 3 powerful words: link, inspire, lead. Let us start with the first word, link. Who invited you to Toastmasters? Can you remember? Yes. For me, it was my boss. So I had no choice. How did you feel when you first joined that meeting? Nervous? Excited? Embarrassed because you might be asked to speak? Can you share with each other in 1 or 2 sentences how you felt in that first meeting? Come on, share. 1 or 2 sentences. How did you feel when you joined the first meeting?
Inspired by them.
Wait. I said 1 or 2 sentences, not the icebreaker.
How about you?
I was intrigued because I didn't know what Toastmasters was all
Ladies
about.
and gentlemen, not the icebreaker.
You were
I
conned by your
joined
wife, right?
Durian Toastmasters Club 37 years ago. Some of you might just be an imagination at that time. But that was not my first experience of a Toastmasters meeting. 3 years prior to that, I attended that meeting, to a Toastmasters meeting. I had lunch,
You cannot stop.
I got comfortable in my seat, and then I went to sleep. 3 years after, I came back and I joined. What made the difference between that year and 3 years after? 3 years after I got into the meeting room, the same thing. I had lunch, sat down, became comfortable, but before I went to sleep, somebody reached out. with an outstretched hand and said, welcome. Welcome to Durian Toastmasters Club. Handed me a program, and he gave me a few moments of his time explaining what was going to happen. It didn't hurt that he was very handsome. So Larry sat down with me for a few minutes, explained the program, explained the different roles, and when he stood up to greet another guest, I was very comfortable and was excited to find out what the meeting was going to be. That outstretched hand might just be a polite gesture, but it was the first link that was created. It represented a possibility of what could happen. And at that moment, I was not alone. Larry went on to be my coach in the humorous speech contest. Then he moved on and became a mentor during my leadership journey. After 37 years, we became friends. I became godparent of one of his sons. And that is how the journey began, with one outstretched hand. Held out at that time as a welcome and went on to become a link that developed into friendship. So let us not stop extending that hand in terms of friendship. Just present that possibility of what could happen. Let us move on to inspire. Friendship, this link, if you can establish that friendship, it could also lift the other person. Because friends are the harshest of critics. I was talking with Shwarna earlier, and she was saying, no, you see your badge is upside down. So I had to fix it. And I said the two gentlemen that I was talking to, Kim Xiong and Agustin, did not notice.
We are
And
older
I said,
than
you know, friends will always tell us what to do. I was telling her, if Christine was here, past International District Director Christine, she would not let me out of the room if there is some mismatched color on what I'm wearing. Or if I appear too casual, she will always say something. That's what friends are for. And if we could apply the skills that we learn in friendship of listening, paying attention to our journey as leaders in the club, in the area, in the district, listening, taking the time, this would be very important of establishing and keeping that. So when we join Toastmasters, we have people that will rally behind us, and as Lisa said, people who will say, you can do it. When you stand up and deliver your icebreaker, you can do it. We're here, we will cheer. Even if you forget your speech, we will cheer. I remember at the International Convention in Toronto, long time ago, a speech contestant in the World Championship of Public Speaking forgot his speech halfway through. He tried to restart several times until at the last moment he just stood, bowed, and got off the stage. The entire audience was so quiet you could hear a pin drop because we were all silently cheering him on. When he got off the stage, in unison, all 8 other contestants stood up and gave him a huge hug, right beside him. In that particular moment, you see the links that are formed, the inspiration that came from that. And we all do that in Toastmasters. Every meeting, every time we cheer on a new member. We had one member, Christina, who joined. She was so excited. Her first assignment, timekeeper. And when it was her turn to do the report, she went up smiling, stood up front, and started laughing. Laughing and laughing with nervous energy. She stopped when she saw the green light. And she got off without giving her report. But when she sat down, there was not a laughter or a jeer, but there were several members who stood up and approached her. You did well, even if you were just laughing. And they gave her tips. Next time, whatever you're going to say, even as a timer, maybe you can start by writing it down. Your introduction. And then they started helping her, mentoring her, guiding her. And she went on to finish 10 speeches for her competent Toastmaster, no? For her 10th speech, it was a eulogy for a friend. And she practiced it in the club before she went and gave it. So this is what we do. And at those moments, these people that we help, these members that we have guided, would become our inspiration too. It works both ways. Their grit, their determination to succeed, to become better speakers, to become better leaders, will become our inspiration. We had one member who could barely complete a sentence, but she would challenge the best speakers in the club. If you deliver a speech, I will deliver a speech. Let's have a contest. Who will finish 10 speeches? And she was the one challenging them. And she became an inspiration. It doesn't matter how well you speak or how difficult you could complete a sentence, but we inspire each other. And that is the way of Toastmasters, which leads us to the last word, lead. When we inspire each other, we push each other. The hands that leads, the hands that inspire, the friendship that connects us will lift each and every one of us. And when you are a leader, the hands that before was reaching out for help will now be reaching out for those that follow. If you look up at the poem, The Bridge Builder, it talks about an old man who crosses a river. After he crossed the river, looking back at it, he built a bridge. And a young man was telling him, "Hey, old man, why are we building a bridge? You passed through the river already." And he said, "I'm doing this not for myself. It's for the people that follow." If you are a leader, even if you're going up the ladder, even if you are on your way up, you will still look back. Still look back, keep that door open, and reach out. And provide that opportunity for others to follow. Link, inspire, lead. And it's a cycle that continues in our everyday life in Toastmasters. We don't stop creating linkages when we become leaders. We continue. We don't stop inspiring others. We do. We continue. And we start looking for inspirations from the new members, from those that are going up, their dedication, their grit. They create a synergy. So we need to light that fire because that fire will be a fuel for growth. So these hands that extend in a form of welcome, it's a possibility of something more, of what could happen, of what we could do if we all keep that hands and extend those hands in terms of friendship. And that touch, that possibility, could help us create a world that is more committed, a world that is connected through one single gesture of welcome. So I guess I challenge you after this conference, find out how many times have you stretched out your hands? Not just for people that you know, but stretching out those hands and meeting somebody new. Not just on Facebook, not just on Twitter, not just on Instagram, but something physical and touching hands. Fellow Toastmasters, let us continue to link, inspire. Good morning.